Hey boys and girls, Squee913 here, and welcome to Book 4 of Lone Wolf, Chasm of Doom. I'm going to show you the covers. Goom. Ha ha ha, I was trying to type Google and then I said Doom and I ended up spelling Goom. Oh, that's classic. Yeah, I should have set this up beforehand, but I forgot that I was going to show you all the covers. So we're going to of Coom, Chasm of Coom, Chasm of Goom and Coom, but definitely not the Chasm of Doom. Oh, hey, there's 5 covers here. What's up with that? All right, so you have this cover, which is like a really old cover of a crazy cat. What the hell? All right, that works. That works, I suppose. And then you have this cover, not quite as nice, not quite as good. It's a little bit smaller, but you got a guy with a spear on a horse charging you over what looks like spikes or a barricade. And then it gets a little better. You can see you got this one. This is the cover of the book I have. And this is a lot more action-packed. This is actually my favorite cover because you can see that there's Summerlending soldiers fighting with you, and it's a desperate struggle, and there's a guy with a spear, and in the background you see soldiers approaching, so you know there's some kind of battle. Stuff is going down. That's all I'm saying. Alright, and then of course you have the new book. Or the new cover. Oh, look, there's another one too. Good God, there's like 5 covers to this book. What's up with that? Oh, whatever. So that's a cover of someone doing something with a giant axe. I have no idea. I know for all of you who are listening to the audio version, you're like, oh gee, thanks, great description there. I know, but I don't know what to tell you. It's some guy with an axe doing something. And then we have a picture of the new cover for the new release, and you got a other bad guy on a hawk, and you have Lone Wolf on a building with a summer sword, which is funny because if you didn't play the second book, you don't have the summer sword, but whatever. So, the voting was pretty one-sided. Everyone and their mother chose tracking. No one has any love for Mind Blast and Mind Shield. Oh, there was like 4 people who had love, so, you know, sorry you 4. Maybe next time. So we have Animal Kinship, Camouflage, Healing, Hunting, Mind Over Matter, Sixth Sense, Tracking, and Weapon Skill and Broadsword. We are becoming one bad dude. Hope you enjoy it while it lasts. Alright, we have also, since we were able to take 6 pieces of equipment with us, we have taken the shield, which I'm probably misspelled. Who cares? It adds +2 to your combat skill. So that added with the silver helm that adds +2 to our combat skill, and our weapon skill that adds 2 plus to our combat skill. We now have a respectable combat skill of 24. Not bad at all. And we are taking the chainmail, which one of the viewers, thank you very much, I forget your name at the moment, but I really appreciate it, pointed out or found a magazine that said that you were able to wear the padded leather armor underneath the chainmail, as they did in history. So we get to have +2 endurance for the padded leather and +2 endurance for the chainmail, giving us a total endurance of 35. Like I said, we're becoming quite respectable. Assuming we can hang on to it this time. We've also taken the 2 potions of lamb's fur and a meal, because that's all we had room for in our backpack. So we now have 3 potions of lamb's fur that heal 4 hit points, 1 potion of lamb's fur that heals 5 hit points. We are decked out and healing. 1 potion that adds +4 to our combat skill for 1 fight only, and a rope that adds that takes up 2 spaces of our backpack, and 50 gold crowns because we are rich. I think that pretty much covers it. We got our equipment, we got our stats, we have our mission. Remember, our southern province has lost all communication, and we're sent to go find out why. And I'm excited. This is a fun one. I like this one a lot. Lots of action. So without further ado, with the exception of me getting a drink of my marvelous peach tea. For 3 days, you lead your brave company of rangers across the lush plains of southern Summerland on the first stage of your urgent mission. The flat, treeless fields surround you with a seemingly endless expanse of wheat, so high that even though you are in the saddle, it reaches well above your knees. Your horses seem to be swimming through a vast yellow sea of corn that is only interrupted by an occasional track or group of isolated farmhouses. The southerners welcome your sudden appearance, but you only make the briefest stops for food and rest, neither wishing to risk becoming a burden nor alarm these good people with your mission. By noon on the fourth day, you reach the pass of Moitura. Here, the plains give way to the broken foothills of the Derncrag Mountains. You soon reach a highway, the surface cracked and full of potholes heading off towards the south. This is the notorious Runon Pike. South of the pass of the Runon Pike crosses 100 miles of open territory known as the Raiders' Road. Bandit tribes from the wildlands and Gak war bands from their mountains in the west frequently ambush those who travel along the pike, and the regular shipment of gold and gems from the mines of Ruanon have sometimes yielded rich pickings to those merciless robbers. Point and flankers, you shout, and immediately 3 groups of rangers peel away from your column and spur their horses into a gallop. You watch with pride as the expert horsemen take up their scouting positions to the front and side of the company. It is late afternoon when a ranger scout approaches with the company from the west. He points towards a craggy outcrop where a thin spiral of wood smoke betrays a hut hidden beneath the overhanging rock. If you wish to investigate this hut, yes, sure, because we're going to stop and investigate every house we come to. That's not going to delay our mission at all. Yes, let's go investigate. I have a feeling about this one. An escort of 5 rangers accompanies you along the twisting, narrow track that leads to the hut. The rough stone walls are covered with damp moss, into which is set a curious oval door. There are no windows. You have dismounted and are approaching the door when suddenly a man's voice calls from inside the hut. "Come in, Lone Wolf. I've been expecting you." Dun dun dun. If you wish to open the door and enter, if you wish to draw your weapon and attack. Good God, you could be a murdering psychopath in these books, can't you? "Come in, Lone Wolf, I've been expecting you." "What? Damn you, fiend!" "You're a Hellgas, don't you? Aren't you?" Lone Wolf just randomly attacks citizens of his country. Oh, man. I'm sorry, where was I? Yes, we're going to go in and talk to him. In the dim light of the interior, you see an old man seated at a table. The flicker of a log fire is all that illuminates this foul-smelling hovel, yet it sheds enough light for you to see a clutter of charts and strange instruments that crowd the hut. The man slowly rises his gaze from a large crystal sphere and bids you sit opposite him. "You know my name." "How?" you ask wearily. "The stars foretold of our meeting long ago, Lone Wolf," he replies, slowly passing his withered old hands over the sphere. "Be not alarmed by my knowledge, for I wish only to aid you." He produces a small scroll of parchment from his robe, and he hands it to you. Upon the scroll is written the following verse. "When the full moon shines o'er the temple deep, a sacrifice will stir from sleep the legions of a long-forgotten lord. When a fair royal maid on the altar dies, the dead of Mackengord shall arise to claim their long-awaited reward." You ask the meaning of the strange verse, but the old man does not answer you. He seems to have fallen into a deep trance. Oh, narcolepsy. Yeah, can be a problem. You lean across the cluttered table to awaken him and are shocked to see your hand pass through his body. Gradually, his image begins to fade. Within seconds, he disappears completely. You place the scroll in your pocket. Marked as a special item. You quickly leave the hut, pausing only to wipe the cold sweat from your brow. Well, that was a fun, strange, weird encounter. Alright, let's continue. Try and forget the weird ghost thing. You've ridden less than 5 miles when you see a group of wagons on the highway ahead. They are painted in a gaudy mix of bright colors and drawn by teams of oxen. A huge tasseled banner flies above the leading wagon, which bears the following proclamation. "The famous Asgir players, troubadours of the Imperial Courts of Magnamund." If you wish to stop and question these traveling minstrels, if you wish to ignore and let them pass. No, let's question them. We need information. You signal the driver to stop. The wagons halt, and a small moon-faced man in a bright pink tunic throws open the rear door of the leading carriage. He shouts and curses the driver as he descends the ladder, pausing only to adjust the cummerbund that barely covers his huge stomach. Seeing your men, he lets out a strangled shriek and fumbles for his short sword hanging at his side. "Bandits! Robbers!" he cries, and wrestles to free his sword from its ornate scabbard. A row of anxious faces appear at the wagon windows, but the expressions soon change to a smile when they recognize your Summerlunding uniforms. "Calm yourself, Yesu," shouts an elderly woman. "They are Summerlunding Rangers. They will not steal your gold." Laughter ripples along the carriages as the little fat man suddenly unsheathes his sword with such force that he spins around and tumbles to the ground. And they have a picture of just that. Fat man falling down with a shoe flying off. Oh, he's gonna be barefoot now. "You must forgive Yesu," says the old woman. "He means you no harm. Raiders Road has made him a nervous wreck." I guess I'm going to start doing character voices. I don't know. I don't think I'm very good at it, but I'll start doing it, and then you can just tell me to stop in the comments if you don't want it. I mean, because that's what people who read audiobooks do, and I want to be like them. I'm a conformist. All right. You question the old woman, asking her where they have come from and their destination. You learn that they are a troop of players that have journeyed many miles from their native land of Colacia in the east. They last played for people of Eshnar, but it was a disappointing show. It seems that the town was quiet as a grave. Those who did come to see them were a sad and sorry crowd. They are now bound for Holmgard, and hopefully a more appreciative audience. "Light is fading," remarks the old woman. "Perhaps you and your men will camp with us tonight? We would deem it an honor, and would be happy to entertain you all with songs and dancing." You notice the hopeful looks in the eyes of your men as they await your decision. "No! I'm a dick! I'm not going to let them entertain themselves. Yes, of course we're going to sit with them. Why not? A night of movies and entertainment is better than a night of not movies and entertainment. Yes?" The wagons are drawn into a circle, and you set up camp inside. A ranger is posted to patrol the perimeter. Blah, blah, blah. The troubadours construct a small stage onto which strides Yesu. He calls for silence before announcing the title of the play, "The Brave Warriors of Summerlund," a choice that meets the hearty approval of your men. During the performance, you notice something very odd. Not only is one of the actors using a real sword, but it is a type of sword only issued to officers of the Summerlunding Cavalry. Blah, blah, blah. After the play, you approach the man and question him about the sword. He looks at you nervously and makes a dash for the darkness of the perimeter of the wagons. If you wish to give chase and have either the Kai discipline of tracking or hunting, I have both. I do, so I'm going to go with that one. Although the wagons are shrouded in darkness, your Kai sense reveals to you the actor's hiding place. You climb the ladder at the rear of the large caravan, push open the door, and with your weapon, and enter. In the plush candlelit interior of the caravan, you find the actor cowering beneath a blanket in the far corner. You flick the blanket aside and ask the petrified man to explain how he came to possess such a fine sword. I bought it in Ishnar," he stammers, his eyes wide with fear, "from the innkeeper of the Pick and Shovel Tavern." He grasps the sword by the blade and offers it to you. "If it is your sword I have unwittingly bought, I am truly sorry. Here, please take it." You grasp the Maybe I should take a drink of something? I'm such a professional. Alright. You grip the brass hilt and examine it closely. There is no doubt. It is a Summerlunding cavalry sword, but the inscription on the blade makes your heart skip a beat. Captain Raymir Deval, the King's Guards Regiment. If you wish to keep the sword, mark it on your action chart. Make sure to keep the sword as a... So we're going to keep it with our weapons. Yay! You know, anyone who's seen my Total War Let's Play, you know, for some strange reason, I have trouble pronouncing the word cavalry. I don't know why. I always had trouble with that word. It's just a weird word to pronounce. Alright, so we have Captain Deval's sword. If you don't remember, Captain Deval was the leader of the 100 men sent to go investigate this in the first place, where no one came back. So, if we have his sword, that can't be good. Alright. You return to the Troubadour stage in time for a meal that has been prepared by your host. The steaming broth smells most appetizing. If you wish to accept this meal, yes I do, because I shouldn't be poisoned by random people. The food is delicious. You eat your fill and then make your preparations for a good night's sleep. At dawn, you and your company bid farewell to the traveling players and continue your mission to Ruanon. Random number table time, because I always do so well at these. 5. Mile after mile, you ride across the flat and desolate landscape surrounding the Ruanon Pike. Let's see, there's a footnote. You have entered the wildlands south of the pass of Motoria. You cannot use hunting to fulfill meal requirements in this desolate area. Oh, crap. Well, we have a meal. Let's just hope it lasts, huh? Yet, in spite of the uninspiring view, your men seem in fine spirits. They sing rousing marching songs and relieve the tedium of the journey, and help to allay fears of what might lie ahead. During the afternoon, storm clouds gather above the peaks of the Derncrag Mountains to the west, and rolls of distant thunder warns of imminent rain. It is late afternoon when your scouts sight a coaching tavern on the highway ahead. It's a large stone building that has been fortified. If you wish to stop at the tavern for the night, turn to page 63. Yes, I do. I don't want to brave the possible storm. Yeah, we need to find out what's going on, but doesn't mean we have to be drenched to do it. The sound of the tolling bell drifts across the barren landscape. Window shutters slam down, but eyes still peer at you from the arrow slits carved into the walls. You draw your company to a halt outside the wide tavern doors. We are Summerlunding. We seek shelter for the night and fodder our mounts, you shout. Fodder for our mounts. There is a long pause before a voice answers your call. Pick a random number table. Why, am I picking a random number table to decide which voice answers me? Okay. It's a 6, so we go here. What proof have we that you are not bandits in stolen uniforms? What can you say that or do that will convince them that you speak the truth? If you wish to say that you are a Kai Lord and that your men are border rangers of Summerlund, yeah, sure, let's do that. Because I don't think showing them our badge of rank will do much good. Go away, shouts a nervous voice. We're a tavern, not a barracks, shouts another. You try to reason with them, but they are adamant. They will not let you enter. You have no choice but to continue along the highway. No! Our shelter for the night. No. Ah, well. Let's see. You have not ridden far when a storm cloud breaks directly overhead and the torrential rain crashes down. Damn you, tavern! Within minutes, the dry and dusty highway is transformed into a quagmire. Now, I'm curious because I believe that if maybe you do the other thing, you get to stay there for a night. I don't remember exactly, but I think other stuff happens. And I thought about going back and looking at that. But, you know what? I'll just leave it up to, if you guys are curious, it's a reason to read the book for yourselves, yes? Alright. It will be impossible to set up camp in the storm, so we resolve to continue to ride all night and hope that the storm will soon pass. During the night ride, you must eat a meal. By morning, the rain has ceased, but you and your men are now very tired from the ordeal, and wet. You are about to order your men to make camp when a scout gallops towards you from the east. He points to a line of horsemen on the horizon. Bandits, he cries. You estimate that there are at least 200 of them? They are riding in your direction. That's not a bandit, gang, that's an army. What the hell? What? Alright, if you reach the Kai rank of Warmarn, you possess 8 Kai disciplines. I do possess 8 Kai disciplines. Turn to page 72. The flat wildlands offer no cover. Offer no cover in which to hide from the bandit horde. You know that if you are to avoid combat with an enemy which vastly outnumbers you, you must split up your company and try to outrun them. You detach a troop of 10 rangers to follow you and send the remainder off towards the west and hope they may lure the bandits away to the Derncrag Mountains. With one glance at the enemy, you lead your 10 rangers on a deadly race against the Ruanon Pike. What, you guys didn't think we were going to keep them forever, did you? Come on. Every time they send us with people, something bad happens. Lone Wolf gets the lone in his name for a reason, you know. Your tactics have worked. The bandits ignore your small group of horsemen and pursue the others towards the west. Once they reach the wooded foothills of the Derncrag Mountains, your rangers will have no difficulty invading the enemy among the densely packed firs. Alright. When the bandits have disappeared from view, you call a halt and allow your men to rest. In spite of the number of men you have lost, you are still eager to continue the mission. I haven't really lost them. I know where they are. Kind of. Random number table time. 4. You have been riding for over 4 hours when you see a flock of birds. They are black and very large and are swooping around the brow of a distant ridge. If you possess the Kai discipline of animal kinship, I do. You identify the birds as Carolyn crows, a despicable breed of wildland scavengers. Whenever a creature lies dead in a wastelands, you can be sure to find a host of these loathsome predators. If you decide to take a closer look at what they are eating, sure, why not? Could be tasty. Could be choice cuts of beef. Or there's a human skull. Okay, that's not good. There's a picture of a skull. I'm guessing it's not beef. As you reach the top of the ridge, a gruesome sight meets you. The bodies of men and horses lie scattered across the shallow valley, beyond the bones picked clean by the scavenging crows. You hear the gasps of horror as your men recognize the armor and tattered white uniforms of these skeletons, for they were once your countrymen, summer-letting guards of the king's cavalry. They must have died in battle, for the corpses of bandit warriors lie intertwined among them. 40 brave soldiers, nearly half of the squadron that left Homeguard 1 month ago, now lie before you, and it is with a heavy heart that you and your men set about the grisly task of burial. As you ride away from the Valley of Death, you are comforted only by the knowledge that Captain Duvall was not among those you buried. Yes, because we care so much about the captain. Screw the rest of the people. We lost 40%, but we kept the captain. So, obviously, something bad is going down, huh? Huh? After many hours of riding, you reach a highway junction. A large signpost indicates 2 destinations, south to Ruanan, 60 miles, or east to Ishnar, 40 miles. Oh yeah, I can now use hunting to fulfill my meal requirements. Sweet! Did I need to eat? No, we were with the traveling band of people. Why would I go east? What possible reason? I'm going to Ruanan. Yes, let's take the extremely long route. It'll confuse our enemies. We're going south to Ruanan. It is almost dark when you reach the edge of the densely forested valley. You can, and again, if you want to see what happens if you go east, just read the book. Alright, you can just make out the highway disappearing into the trees ahead and catch sight of the signpost pointing towards the south. You are now only 40 miles from Ruanan, but your men are tired and in need of food and rest. If you wish to set up camp at the edge of the forest, yeah, because 40 miles is actually a really long distance if you're on foot or horse. So, if you wish to send some men into the valley to scout for bandits. If you wish to go without food or sleep and press on to Ruanan as quickly as possible. Yeah, let's press on, because bad stuff is going on, and we need to find out what's going on now. And if those other 60 soldiers are in trouble, we need to get there as soon as possible. So, come on, let's push on. You are helped tonight by a cloudless sky, for the highway is illuminated by the pale moonlight. You order 3 of your men to scout ahead, for you know the notorious reputation this forested highway has for sudden bandit ambushes. The densely packed trees lining the road could easily conceal an army of robbers. Before the scouts gallop away, you order them to report anything unusual they may find on the road ahead. Within an hour, you arrive at a junction where a track from the east meets the main highway. Adorned at the side of the road is a burnt-out wagon. You sense something is wrong. Your scouts should have reported this wagon long before you found it, and your men are worried that something may have happened to them. You know that you dare not continue your ride in case you fall into an ambush. You decide to rest at the junction and wait for the return of your scouts. 6 hours later, as the sun slowly rises over the eastern tree line, your scouts still have not returned. If you wish to search the highway ahead, if you wish to examine the burnt-out wagon. Yes, I wish to examine the burnt-out wagon. I probably should have done it 6 hours ago. Sat there for 6 hours staring at the burnt-out wagon going, yeah. Probably should investigate that. I'll wait till sunrise. No cargo remains inside the charred shell of the wagon. The wood is black, and the metal fittings have buckled and blistered in the heat. However, in spite of the damage, you find enough proof from the ashes to confirm your suspicions. This is the wreck of a summer-loading cavalry wagon, one of the 3 that left the for Ruanon with Captain Duvall's troops over a month ago. As you stand in the wagon, brushing the ash from your hands, one of your men suddenly cries out in pain. You glance up in time to see him fall from his horse, a disc of sharp steel embedded in his chest. "Ambush! Take cover!" you shout, as more of the deadly discs whistle out of the trees and claim victims. Frightened horses gallop in all directions, your men desperately clinging to the reins. The hidden attackers vanish as quickly as they came, but not before 3 of your men are left dead on the highway. After burying your dead, you must decide on the best course of action. For now, only 4 men remain at your side, and the hidden enemy may return at any time to finish their evil handiwork. Let's see, if you wish to continue along the highway riding full speed for Ruanon, or if you wish to avoid the main highway and continue by the eastern track. Why? Why would I keep going east? That's crazy. I'm going as fast as I can to Ruanon. It is noon before you are forced to call a halt. You have reached the edge of the ridge where the highway begins a long descent towards the wide wooden bridge. This is the Ruanon Bridge. You recognize its stout black timbers and dark waters of the river Zane that flow beneath. On the far side of the bridge lie fire-blackened ruins of an inn and the unmistakable silhouette of bandit horsemen. At the entrance of the bridge is a white signpost pointing across the bridge to the south. Ruanon, 12 miles. You know it would be suicidal to attempt to cross the bridge. The bandit horsemen each carry heavy crossbows slung from their saddle. Alright, if you wish to try and cross the river further upstream, or if you wish to try and cross the river downstream to the east. Let's try upstream to the west? Why not? Keeps wanting me to go east. I don't want to go east! I'm going west. You enter the forest and descend the wooded hillside towards the river Zane. You have gone only a few yards when the trees become far too dense for you to be able to continue on horseback.